There's lots of amazing food in the Philippines, but there's one amazing culinary tradition that's big enough to feed an army.
Hi, I'm Chef, and I own Boodle Fight Manila.
Boodle? Boodle what? What's a boodle fight?
A boodle fight is a feast set up on banana leaves. Just the food piled in the middle with everyone standing shoulder to shoulder. And the best part is, everyone eats with their bare hands.
It originated with the Philippine military. Soldiers took the practice home and it went mainstream. So mainstream that chefs like Jaff now have full-time jobs bringing boodle fights to the masses. The boodle fight is a quintessential example of how Filipinos value sharing.
Especially when it comes to food. A lot of food is needed for boodle fight to be enjoyed the way it's meant to be. We love Balintawak Market. This is where boodle fight comes together. We'll be needing the essentials: pork, chicken, seafood, veggies, dessert, the sides, and of course the fruits. And do not forget the star of the show, the banana leaves.
Shoosh! I am full already.
We start with the messy part, the grilling. First, the pork, chicken, the seafood, and then you slice the fruits, steam the veggies together with the shrimp and the crab, and then slice all the sides and prepare the table. After setting up the banana leaves, it is important to look for the center of the table and start from there. You can place the dessert and fruits. Then on both sides, start with the rice, pork, chicken, and seafood. To make it extra delicious, add the sides, literally on the side of the table.
The Philippines has a lot of choices when it comes to food, but none compared to the community that develops when sharing a pile of food bare-handed with the people you love.
Produce industry does not have the right to dump nutritious product that can go to families who are in need. Borderlands Food Bank rescues between 30 to 40 million pounds of produce annually, and we've been doing it for 21 years. My name is Yolanda Soto, and I am the CEO President of Borderlands Food Bank. We are an organization that rescues fresh produce. We get it to families all over the state of Arizona and 19 other states within the nation. We saw there was a tremendous amount of fresh produce coming across at our port of entry here from Mexico, and a lot of it could not be sold. It could be because it had some scarring. It could be because it had some rain stain. And so they were actually dumping it in the landfill. We saw that the product was extremely good for human consumption. So we began educating the produce industry. We've gone to each individual distributor. We've offered them our services and said, do not dump. Allow us to rescue it and get it to families so that they can eat nutritiously. The driver comes back to the warehouse, he's got a trailer load of product, and he begins to get unloaded. We take up the produce to the sites and we set it up like a farmer's market, all done by volunteers from the host site. For a $10 contribution, the supporter can select 60 pounds of produce. Pretty good, 17 cents a pound. It's important to us to get it to as many families as possible before it perishes, because I think that people have the right to eat nutritiously. It's the most basic of needs. Thank you. Have a great day. We have the responsibility to stop waste, and we have the responsibility to help the people in our own backyard.
people need to understand that all of North America is indigenous land, it is native land. People tend to forget that there was a vibrant native culture living in all parts of North America, and food is really the piece that's going to help us move forward into a brighter future. My name is Sean Sherman, and I am a chef. I own the company, the Sous Chef. So this is going to be 2 pieces per plate for these. Our mission is revitalizing Native American foods and re-identifying North American cuisine. We've tried really hard to maintain authenticity by removing all of the colonial ingredients like dairy, wheat flour, processed sugar, beef, pork, chicken, and we're just using a lot of wild game, a lot of the native agricultural, heirloom varietals, a lot of the wild foods around us, and really making those plates that taste like a region. Most of these ingredients are very familiar to people, but the usage of a lot of the wild plants really talk about a place and a community. We prioritize purchasing from the indigenous vendors first because we really want to open up a lot of opportunity for indigenous people growing out farms or collecting things from the wild or raising animals. So for the big dinner, we're actually cooking this bison down with a bunch of fresh cedar and some bergamot. We will purchase from anybody raising these indigenous pieces because it is such an important part of the landscape and the history.
You know you want it.
As we travel around the country, we like to make dinners and foods that really represent those areas. What's great about being able to do these dinners, especially in non-Indigenous communities, is just to bring awareness.
This kind of food that we're eating today, like you're gonna feel really good when you leave here. You're not gonna feel heavy and weighted down. You're gonna feel energized and just happy because you're knowing where this food is coming from.
We feel like anybody across North America will benefit from the understanding of the indigenous food systems around you, and it's all going to help us move forward.
It's Thanksgiving. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, but the one thing that has always stood out is a bit of a head scratcher: sweet potato casserole. We're pretty sure sweet potatoes and marshmallows weren't at the original Thanksgiving, so what happened? Sweet potatoes have been around forever, and marshmallows, this sticky, gooey mess, actually comes from a plant and has been around since ancient Egypt, a delicacy only pharaohs could eat. Okay, fast forward to the 20th century. Marshmallows were a big deal, expensive, and essentially the Cristal of sweet treats. And not only that, but they were even handmade. Marshmallows became a mainstay for highfalutin housewives. See, back then, housewives would have to make whipped cream or even meringue by hand, but the marshmallows were a modern time saver. The first recipe that paired sweet potatoes and marshmallows appeared in 1918 in a trade journal cleverly named Sweet Potatoes and Yams. As marshmallows grew in popularity and began being mass-produced, more and more recipes began implementing them as an everyday ingredient. Nowadays, marshmallows are generally reserved for campfires and hot chocolate, and this non-traditional favorite. Whether you like your sweet potatoes a la marshmallow or plain, happy Thanksgiving!
I can imagine us having Thanksgiving wherever we are in our universe, whether it's Pluto, Mars, the moon, or wherever. I think as we explore as a civilization, we'll take our traditions with us and break bread in that same way. I spent Thanksgiving in space on my second space shuttle mission in 2009. There were 7 astronauts total. We were like around a campfire with no campfire, but floating in the air. My Thanksgiving meal was irradiated smoked turkey. We had thermally stabilized cornbread dressing, rehydrated green beans, and oh my goodness, these other kind of crazy, kind of candied yams. We always play with our food in space, so I think maybe a green bean or two was floated over and catch the green bean. It was pretty cool. Off the planet, You're in this incredible community of explorers. And that was one thing that I really felt so connected to, is these people that I'm breaking bread with and being thankful for on Thanksgiving Day. I'm sure the Pilgrims or the Native Americans probably never would have imagined turkey in space. Thanksgiving on Mars would be, similar to it being on the space station, except for your food wouldn't be floating around because there's 1/6 G on Mars, so 1/6 of the gravitational pull on the planet Earth. You would have your irradiated smoked turkey on the table, sitting there, not floating away.